Hello everyone and welcome to Keep It Classical. I'm Dr. Matthew Nielsen and today we're going to talk about classical music for the Christmas season. Yes, the Christmas season is upon us. And chances are you've already had the opportunity to attend a few classical performances or have one coming up. And if I was a betting man, I'm pretty sure I could name the music in question. Also, I didn't realize until I started filming this video that I don't have any clothes for Christmas. I don't even have an ugly Christmas sweater. I also don't have any Christmas decor, so it's not gonna feel very Christmassy, and I apologize. But we're gonna make do. Around this time of year, two pieces of classical music inevitably get tons of performances in North America. Messiah by Handel and The Nutcracker by Tchaikovsky. Now, I want to be clear right from the start that I have nothing against either of these works. They're both very well crafted and inspired compositions. And yes, they have become synonymous with this time of year. However, even the best compositions can be subject to being overplayed. When you've heard the same music every single Christmas season, it becomes hackneyed and can lose its luster. To keep these works special, it's important to take a break and enjoy some of the other classical pieces that are written for the Christmas season. Let's start with a work by one of Handel's contemporaries, Johann Sebastian Bach. Bach wrote a major work about Christmas called the Christmas Oratorio. This is a large work that is basically 6 smaller cantatas stitched together. These 6 cantatas are written for different days of Christmas. This includes the first, second, and third day of Christmas, the Feast of the Circumcision, which is also New Year's Day, the first Sunday of New Year, and Epiphany. For me, the very first movement is Christmas distilled into music. It's jubilant, royal, and effervescent, like opening a bottle of champagne. Next is a work by French composer Hector Berlioz called L'Enfance du Christ, or The Infant Christ. The work depicts the time right after the birth of Jesus, when Herod orders the massacre of every young boy in Bethlehem, the escape of Joseph and Mary into Egypt, and their acceptance as refugees in that country. While Berlioz is known for being pretty dramatic and over the top with his music, L'Enfance du Christ is uncharacteristically gentle and sensitive much of the time. Berlioz attributed that change of tone to the subject matter, even though he was agnostic most of his adult life. Another work that's relatively short and only requires a piano is the Christmas Tree Suite by Franz Liszt. This short but adorable little work doesn't quite have the same face-melting virtuosity that Liszt is typically known for, but you can still tell that it's Liszt. It's festive, it's meditative, it's fairly short. What more do you want on Christmas morning? Another standout work comes from Italian composer Ottorino Respighi. He actually wrote a couple of Christmas pieces. The first is Lauda per la Natività del Signore, or Praise for the Nativity of Our Lord. It's a 30-minute work featuring orchestra, soloists, and choir depicting the birth of Jesus and being visited by the shepherds. It's a beautiful hidden gem of a piece that I have yet to actually hear performed live. Another Christmas work by Respighi comes from the middle movement of his work Three Botticelli paintings called The Adoration of the Magi. In this work for orchestra, Respighi quotes the carol O Come, Emmanuel. Just like Adoration of the Magi, lots of 20th century classical music compositions about Christmas will incorporate and quote various Christmas carols and melodies. A prime example of this is Fantasia on Christmas Carols by Ralph Vaughan Williams. This work is about 12 minutes long for orchestra, choir, and baritone soloist, and Vaughan Williams sets 3 Christmas carols from southern England: The Truth Sent from Above, Come All You Worthy Gentlemen, and the Sussex Carol. These may not be the most popular Christmas carols in North America, but they're great melodies that make up a great piece of music.
On Christmas night all Christians sing to hear the news the angels bring. News of great joy, news of great mirth, news of a merciful King's birth. When sin departs before thy grace, then life and health come in its place.
A work that may be a bit of an acquired taste, but definitely is supercharged with the Christmas spirit, is Ceremony of Carols by Benjamin Britten. It's a work that sets 11 different short Christmas poems in Middle English for 3-part treble choir and harp. It's a work that feels simultaneously modern and ancient, as well as simultaneously naive and knowing. It's not a tough piece to get into, and while it may not feel like Christmas at first, pretty soon you'll be making a Christmas association with it. A really special gem of a piece for this time of year is The Christmas Story by Ugo Dissler. This work for choir and narrator is structured like Bach's St. Matthew Passion and features chorales from the Lutheran tradition. It spotlights 7 different verses and harmonizations of the Christmas hymn Es ist ein Ros entsprungen. It's wonderful to listen to Dissler reimagine each verse of this gorgeous Christmas tune with endless creativity. One of the most compelling and moving works we'll talk about is also one of the most recent. It's a choral opera called All is Calm. It tells the story of the 1914 Christmas truce during World War I, when soldiers from Britain, France, and Germany lay aside their weapons of war for a night and shared a Christmas celebration by singing carols together.
As the campfire burns, every soldier
I think it was excitement more than anything that made me join up. Because we all thought the war would be over by Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
During the winter of 1914, it was not unusual for little groups of men to gather in the front trench and there hold impromptu concerts, singing patriotic and sentimental songs.
It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know.
And in calm evenings, songs from one line floated to the trenches on the other side. In the middle of the war, we had ourselves a merry Christmas.
This is only a handful of classical Christmas pieces. There's lots that we still didn't cover, like Odie by Vaughan Williams and Intera Pax by Finzi. If you have any questions about more of these, or have some favorites of your own, leave them in the comments below. That's all for now. Make sure that you check out my other videos that I posted about classical music history, as well as other special subjects and hidden masters. Or check out my playlist for complete beginners. In the meantime, keep it classical, and Merry Christmas.